allow myself to introduce myself again. Alright everyone, hope you are doing well. I'm the man they call PixelPaul, and we are now in 2025, January 2025. Unbelievable. And it's about the 19th month, something like that, that I've been doing this YouTube channel now, and loved every single minute of it. I genuinely love doing these videos on YouTube, and I've had, sort of a reasonable amount of success with it. It is what it is, but I just still enjoy doing it. And I'm still sort of getting new subscribers every week, every month, and massively appreciate it. So because of that, I just thought maybe why not do, as it's, we moved into 2025, maybe do a little bit of a reintroduction to myself, my games, and my channel in general. Because like I said, 19 months on, my very first video was kind of that kind of video. It was an introduction to me. I remember it very well. I was wearing exactly the same top, and I was very sort of nervous, very sort of green. I hope I've progressed a little bit since then, possibly not, but yeah, I just thought, I've had so many sort of new subscribers since then who probably haven't, gone back to that video, because I've done so many sort of videos since then. So I just thought maybe if I do like a little bit of an introduction or a reintroduction to myself, my game collecting, my channel, because I think in a way when you are collecting games or when you have a hobby like this, it's kind of good to know where a person is coming from. Why do I collect the way I collect? What do I like to collect? Why do I do my channel, my YouTube channel, the way I do it? And if I can manage to stop knocking this table, that might help as well. So yeah, I just think it's important to sort of know who you're watching and why they do what they do, almost like their motivation almost. So that's what I intend to do with this video. So let's crack on. So I am the man they call PixelPaul, or if you like, just Paul. I am a northern lad in the UK, England, northwest of England, based in Bolton. I'm sort of a mid-40s, average gamer, family guy. I'm married to Mrs. Pixel, who I refer to as Mrs. Pixel, 2 children, Pixel Junior and Pixel Princess, who they all kind of have made little cameos within this channel at certain points, most of the time unintentionally, but you may see them pop up in videos of mine over the course of the the videos I've done and the videos to come as well. So yeah, I'm just a very sort of normal, average average intelligence, average wit, average humour, just average in most departments, to be quite honest. Sort of guy, work full time as well, work in Manchester city centre, and yeah, I love football, I love movies, love music, all the normal sort of guy kind of stuff really. But my main love is video games. I am such a huge passion for video games and video game collecting. So why is that? Well, my sort of gaming journey goes all the way back to I always get this mixed up. It's either 91 or 92, or Christmas 91 or Christmas 92. I can never remember. But it was basically when I first got my first Nintendo Game Boy. So that was the first console, if you like, that I ever got. And ever since then, I've just loved collecting video games. Even before that, I had sort of a very, I had a lot of interest in not necessarily console gaming, but I loved going into arcades. I used to love those tabletop computer game things, Tomy-tronic type things that we used to get as well. They always used to intrigue me. So getting the Game Boy was a huge thing for me. It was a massive revelation. And since then, I've sort of loved buying and collecting and playing video games. It's just been that one hobby that's been with me throughout my my sort of early teen years, straight through the teen years into my 20s. And sort of that part of me, I'd collected a relatively sort of decent sized collection, but it was about 10, maybe 11 years ago now, where that sort of first collection I had to sell off because my little boy was due to arrive, and we needed the room that he was going to go into, which is where my games were, and we also needed a bit of money as well, to be quite honest. So a lot of my collection went, and it reduced down from it was about 400 games, something like that, across multiple systems, including some consoles that I don't have now, like the Saturn and the Dreamcast. So a lot of that was sold off. I'd say probably a good 3/4 of it was sold off. And what I did have left was confined to a suitcase, which went on top of the cupboard and was pretty much forgotten about. I was still sort of playing games, obviously, because I had like a PlayStation 4 at that point. But in terms of sort of collecting games, I sort of stopped collecting games for a good, well, up until probably 2021 or 2022, which was when I completely randomly, I think I was going away on a work trip, I rebought a PlayStation Portable. I think I got it off eBay or somewhere like that, really cheap. Got a stack of games with it, and yeah, I was going away with work and I just fancied having a PlayStation Portable to take with me just to play some games. I'm just doing that. I'm buying it really cheaply. Just opened my eyes to where we were at that point in terms of prices of games. Now, I'd never really, or I'd stopped sort of going into game shops and CEX and that sort of thing. And I'd never really been into charity shops either. So buying that and then going into a charity shop and buying like 5 Xbox 360 games for £1 sort of really kind of opened my eyes to where we were in terms of prices and, you know, what the value of these games were at that point. And it made me sort of think, do you know what, I've got absolutely, you know, we're sort of fairly comfortable. I have a little bit of spare cash each month. Why don't I start to rebuild a bit of a collection? Never in my wildest dreams would I imagine that it would sort of spiral and become this collection behind me, but that's where it's ended up. Now, whilst doing that, in the early days of sort of rebuilding my original collection, I'd started to post on Instagram, used to show pictures of games on Instagram, and again, that kind of sort of complemented the sort of reignition of my passion of game collecting. You know, I could share pictures of the games I was picking up on Instagram, meet new people, build a little community, and you know, I started to really enjoy it. And yeah, built quite a big following on Instagram. And then going back to that sort of 20 months or so ago, people were always asking me, why don't you move on to YouTube, or why don't you do Twitch? And I've never really fancied sort of streaming, you know, playing games on Twitch particularly, but YouTube sort of appealed, and I was thinking maybe I could translate some of the stuff I do on Instagram onto YouTube, and why not give it a go? Because I was sort of thinking, well, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. So I did. So this is where this whole sort of YouTube channel has grown from, just basically that starting to rebuild the collection, building a big enough sort of collection that I was happy with, starting that Instagram account as well, and yeah, here we are on YouTube. So what kind of a gamer am I then? So because, you know, game collecting is, you know, part of the whole world of gaming, isn't it? But I am at the sort of very core, you know, I play video games. That is my main motivation for collecting games. I play video games and always have done. So what kind of games do I like? Well, I'm very much more of a sort of solo kind of player, bit of a loner really. I do love those story-driven type games, you know, your Tomb Raiders, your Uncharted. I love games, or my favourite game ever is Mass Effect 2, so I love the Mass Effect trilogy. I also love sort of racing, arcade races, that sort of thing too. I love 2D beat-em-ups. Big fan of like Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat and King of Fighters. I've just started to get into King of Fighters actually. But to be honest, I will play anything. I love any kind of game. I love console gaming. I love handheld gaming. I'm not a massive fan of, you know, the new sort of games like Fortnite and, you know, those online sort of multiplayer games. That's just not really my thing particularly. It may be one day. Maybe I'll get dragged into that world at some point. But at the moment, I do prefer sort of like the sort of solo games, story-driven games, and that sort of thing. So that's what a lot of this collection here is. But having said that, like I said, I will play anything. So I think I have a relatively sort of diverse collection behind me. There's a lot of big hitters in there, not value-wise, and we'll get into that in a bit. But there's a lot of sort of big name games in there, as well as some sort of like what I like to sort of think of as being sort of hidden gems, or games that I like personally. You know, games that maybe weren't particularly given a chance back in the day or reviewed poorly. But then when you pick them up these days for, you know, £1, couple of quid, they're actually worth a play. So that's why, you know, probably why I've got quite a lot of games there, because I don't in general tend to pick up games I have no interest in, really. It's only if they're really, really cheap. And that's kind of how I kind of do my game collecting. So I am not a collector who can go out and spend, I don't know, £400, £500 on one single game. I just couldn't do it. There's no way I could justify it. And it also kind of, I don't like the idea of having to pay for something at that kind of amount. You know, when they came out however many years ago and they were, you know, £40, £50, it really irks me to have to pay more than what their original value was. I know that's just the way it is, and, you know, games go up in value because of rarity and demand and that sort of thing. And that's where I guess I'm sort of a bit more patient, perhaps, because I'll quite happily sit there and wait to find a game that I want to play at the right price. And I think that's what drives my YouTube channel, really. The fact that, you know, that's very much my sort of ethos. I wait to pay the right price for a game. I won't pay over the odds for a game because I just can't do it. And that is, you know, that's another sort of motto that I have with this channel, is that my game collecting drives my YouTube channel. So it's not the other way around. You know, Instagram and YouTube do not drive me to buy games. It's the other way around. I collect games first and foremost. I play games. And then YouTube and Instagram are kind of add-ons to that hobby. So my channel is not kind of, you know, driving my collection, if you like. That's the way I sort of have done it from the start, and that's the way I intend to collect in the future. Now, you know, fair play to, you know, people who can go out and buy those big hitter games. I would love to do it. If I could, I would go out and, you know, throw money onto you know, a game like sort of, I don't know, Castlevania or Mega Man or something like that, you know, holds a high value. I'd love to, but I don't have that kind of pot of money. Family comes first, obviously. So I guess to a degree, I'm a bit of a bargain hunter, but I don't particularly flip. I don't buy games to flip. I could do, I guess, and I think if I did, I'd probably be quite good at it because I've got a decent eye for a bargain. But just at the moment, I don't tend to sell games because I did that back in the day. Like I said, I had to sell that original collection. I did all the eBaying, I did all the selling, all the posting, all that. And I just kind of don't want to go back to doing that. I know you can take games to CEX as well. But yeah, I'm not in general someone who goes out and flips games or looks for games to flip. So, you know, if you're thinking that this channel is some sort of car boot sale flipper kind of channel, it's not quite that, really. So what does my YouTube channel have? Well, if you haven't, you know, already watched it, or if you're a new subscriber, what I like to do with this channel is keep games at the center of it. You know, it's very much a gaming channel. Having said that, I don't intend, or I don't have the ability at the moment to be able to have loads of sort of footage or gameplay footage, and just because I don't have the tech. This is exceptionally sort of low budget YouTube. It's a phone, it's a microphone, it's a light, and that's pretty much it. I don't have a PC or anything like that to be able to sort of stream through or anything. I don't actually have the technical know-how how to do that either, really. I occasionally sort of record games off like my PlayStation 5 and add that onto the channel. But in general, my channel is very sort of low tech, low budget. I do everything on my phone, edit it. Everything's done on that, and it is what it is. I think I do okay with that. I think I can just about get away with it, really. Again, I would love to be able to sort of maybe have some sort of proper setup where I could maybe stream games or include really good footage of games onto the channel, and maybe one day I'll be able to do that. But right now, it's as you were. It's basically me, a microphone, showing you games, showing you sort of game hunts, but not just game hunts either, because again, I could not do endless videos of me just going out to game shops, CEX, charity shops every single week. I just couldn't do that. I just couldn't sustain it. A, I would get bored of doing it. B, you guys would probably get bored of doing it because everybody does it. And I just couldn't, I just couldn't afford to do it. I think I'd just get burnt out. I would get bored. So what I've been trying to do with the channel is try to keep a degree of sort of variety with the stuff that I post. And I tend to post 2 videos each week. And I've pretty much maintained that over the course of the 20 months. But I am trying to keep a bit of variety going. So I do have the game hunt videos. I have sort of special game hunt videos as well, where I'll go to a unique sort of shop perhaps. But on top of those, I do like the video game magazine retrospectives. I'm doing PlayStation VR reviews as well, which I really enjoy. I love doing the PSVR videos. If only because not a huge amount of other people are doing them. So I love doing those as well. I've done retro journey type videos where I've taken you through my collection of like SNES games, NES games, Game Boy games, Mega Drive, N64, all of those sort of retro consoles. I've also done in the past like 10 for a tenner, and that's something maybe I'd like to redo or try to redo. I think it could be hard to do that, but that's basically where I show you 10 games that you could get for 10 quid from CEX, for example, and those videos always used to do quite well, so I may try to sort of go back to doing those as well. But yeah, I just try to do a bit of a variety of things on this channel, and that's the way I will intend to keep going with it. And so, if you haven't already guessed, I do have a tendency to rabbit on. I do ramble a bit. Because I don't script any of this, nothing's written down in front of me in terms of what I have to say. A lot of it's just completely ad lib off the top of my head most of the time, which sometimes is good, sometimes is not so good. Inconsistency, but that's just the way I roll. I quite like the chaos in a way, and then I just feel maybe like it's a little bit more natural to do it like that. You may think otherwise. Anyway, yeah, going forward, it will be more of the same, hopefully. 2025, again, I'll be looking to do game hunt videos. I'm going to carry on with PSVR, gaming magazine videos. I've got a couple of potential ideas for different types of things as well in the pipeline. I've also got Bolton Gaming Market to go to in March, which I'm really, really looking forward to. And I think that's one thing that I would like to possibly do more is, and I know there's a potential for this to happen at that gaming market, is possibly meet more collectors as well, and maybe have some sort of more collaborations with other gaming collectors on YouTube. That's something I'd like to do. It's a big step for me because I'm quite introverted in real life. So if I could get like collaborations going, that would be great. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I will just carry on with just me on my own, and we'll see how it goes anyway. But yeah, like I said, I do tend to rabbit on. So I think I'm going to leave this reintroduction at that. And I hope that that has given you a bit more of an idea, if you're new to the channel, of who I am and why I collect, how I go about it, and what this YouTube channel is all about. So if you're still with me, or if you are new to the channel and you've only just seen this video and this is literally your first introduction to me, if I've convinced you enough, it would be amazing if you would consider subscribing to this channel, because we just keep growing, and if we can keep growing and growing, who knows where this could go. I genuinely don't know. I have no expectations for it. I will just go with the flow. But if this video hasn't put you off, it'd be great if you could subscribe to the channel, give it a like, give it a share, all that jazz, all that great stuff. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all, hopefully, next time.